Hey friends, it's the end of October, and October is National ADHD Awareness Month, so in this video I'm going to chat about breaking up some ADHD myths. Hi friends, it's Kat from Real Chat with Kat, and today we are talking about ADHD and breaking stigmas, so myth busting is the name of the game. Let's chat. Myth number 1, ADHD is not real. Busted. ADHD, the name, is relatively new in the medical world, but the symptoms of ADHD have been described in medical documents for over 100 years. ADHD is the result of a chemical imbalance in the chemical messengers, the neurotransmitters in our brain, and that's real. Myth number 2, ADHD is caused by bad parenting. Busted. ADHD is chemical, genetic, and quite often hereditary. In fact, studies have shown that overly strict parenting styles actually make ADHD symptoms worse, not better. Myth number 3, if they aren't hyper, they don't have ADHD. Busted. So while some people with ADHD are fidgety and hyperactive, they may talk excessively, other people with ADHD have an inattentive type or a combined type. So they may not have that hyperactive piece at all. In addition, hyperactivity manifests itself in many ways. While you may not see somebody fidgeting or talking excessively, they may have hyperactive thought patterns that you can't see. Myth number 4, they can focus on video games, so they must not have attention deficit. Busted! People with ADHD need a delicate balance of motivation and stimulation in order to be productive. So if something is stimulating enough to their brain and there's enough motivation by getting those dopamine receptors, then we in fact can focus, in some cases even hyper-focus, which is why you see a lot of people with ADHD who play video games. For me, I can get hyper-focused spending hours on content creation because it stimulates my brain and I find that there's motivation and reward to it. Myth number 5, ADHD is just a kid thing or they will grow out of it. Busted. While it's true that some people do develop enough coping skills that their ADHD symptoms don't impair their day-to-day lives, that's the exception and not the case, and it's still not a cure. People who are lucky will develop skills and strategies to help them manage their ADHD symptoms and minimize their impact on their day-to-day lives, but other people who aren't so lucky may spend years masking their symptoms, which will make them appear fine to the outside world, but masking is not a cure and in fact isn't healthy for the ADHD brain. I'll talk about that in an upcoming video. So in general, you do not grow out of ADHD, yet many adults do not receive treatment, and untreated ADHD in adults can lead to an increased risk of mood disorders, anxiety, substance abuse, and more. People who have ADHD untreated often experience more difficulties in their interpersonal relationships, their careers, etc. So ADHD is a lifelong condition that should be treated from childhood all the way through adulthood. That was my first 5 myths that we are busting about ADHD. I hope you found this video enjoyable. If you did and you gave it a thumbs up, that would help me out a lot. If you have ADHD, I would love to know what myths you would like me to talk about next. Please drop them in the comments. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future content.